Take two.
Hey guys, this is Brian. I've been asked to do a FPV setup review of the Strix Stratosurfer. This is just how I set mine up, and it may look a little goofy, but this is what I've got going on with it. First, the Strix Stratosurfer, as far as FPV fixed wing platforms, in my limited experience, is one of the best ones I've come across. It has this plastic fuselage and these wings. I've got spars that run 80% of it. It even has a spar in the horizontal stabilizer as well. To be honest, I was pretty surprised at how well this thing flew, considering it's running a, I think that's a 60-45 prop. But I've been very satisfied with it. So anyway, on to the FPV setup. First of all, on the video transmitter, it's just simply the Eachine 700 TVL camera with a 250 milliwatt transmitter with one of those cheap $10 antenna setups. I'm also running the Eachine EV800 goggles, and I'll show you what the video looks like inside of this shortly. And then for recording, I got a knockoff GoPro camera that records in 4K. I run it on the 1080p at 30 frames per second setting, and that seems to work pretty good. But anyway, I'll show you where all this mounts up. First of all, to power up the VTX camera setup, I just use a simple JST connector on a 1000 milliamp 3-cell, and I just tuck this right down in behind where my batteries are going to go, and I'll show you how all this balances up in just a second. But this more or less will just sit it right down in here, and between the where the batteries are that power the speed controller and this platform right in here, I could put some Velcro in there and it'd sit in there real nice, but never had any issue with it. So as you can see here, the VTX is on. And then the batteries normally run a connector here, but just for sake of time, I won't go get that. We'll just plug this up, and then for balance, because I'm not using a whole lot of equipment up front, they don't necessarily have to go all the way in the nose. I've got a piece of Velcro here, and I just set them right down in here, and I'll test it in just a second to make sure that's where it needs to be. And then the canopy's got these really strong magnets. We'll just pop the tab in here, and that thing is on there. You can probably see here on the side, this is where I used to pull up on it, and you can see it starting to separate just a little bit. And then on the recording, now this is kind of where the issue is, and another way to do this would be to put this camera in the nose, but I didn't like, at this point, I just don't like to cut into this plastic yet. I'll probably get there at some point. But just normal FPV flying, this is fine. But to do the actual recording, now the problem is I've got a camera sitting in front of my camera. But I know the place that I fly really well, so I can see the peripherals around here, and it's not a big deal. I don't know if I touched on it. The camera's an Akaso EK7000. I got it and all the mounting accessories were $72 on Amazon. $72 for an HD camera, it's kind of hard to pass that up. And considering that I crashed, I broke my run cam on a quad crash. I haven't replaced that yet. So anyway, another thing I could do is put this camera here on a pan tilt and maybe move it off to the side, but we may do that down the road. So I'll take this off and show you real quick what the camera looks like in the goggles with without that camera in the way, and then I'll show you with the camera on it. Get to the channel here. So this is what the picture looks like, and again, you have to remember that's a $25 FPV camera VTX setup.
Put your hand up or something.
And with the
no, like in front of the camera.
Oh, there we go.
There
so
we go.
you can kind of see there what that looks like, and we're still about 30-45 minutes away from twilight, so the light's starting to get kind of low. Shadows are getting long, but so you can kind of see how that whole thing works. And then I know you'll get a kick out of this, but then I'll take and put the camera in front of it, so now you can see. Yeah, there's a great big camera in front of my camera, but I know what I'm looking at on the ground when I want to go fly. So again, we'll probably move this camera, maybe even go up here, or put it down in the nose here. But there's nothing in front of the HD recording, and I guess at the end of the day, that's what you really want to get. So that's pretty much it. Any questions, drop a comment. Appreciate you watching, and that's it for now. Thanks.